Hey guys, so on Wednesday I released my first impressions and wear test on the new Rare Beauty line by Selena Gomez. I bought about 5 products: a foundation, the concealer, cream blush, cream highlighter, and a lip product. And in that video, if you want to watch it, I'll put it right here on one of those cards. But I talk about how, although I liked the cream blush and it lasted a long time, I felt like it just looked strange on top of the foundation. And whether that's from the cream blush or the foundation, who knows? But when I tried it on bare skin, it looked so much better. And same with the highlighter. For some reason, on top of the foundation, it just looked so cakey and like weird, and it separated on my skin. But when I put the highlighter on my bare skin without anything underneath, it looked so good. So basically today in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how I'd incorporate 3 products from Rare Beauty into my everyday makeup routine, mostly on my bare skin. So the 3 products I'm gonna be using today, first off is the Rare Beauty highlighter in the lightest shade Enlighten. Secondly, I'm gonna be using the Rare Beauty cream blush in the shade Joy. And then I'm also gonna be going in with the Rare Beauty concealer because I didn't like that in the last video. I gave the concealer about a 3 out of 10, which I felt really bad about, but it just creased a lot of my skin. But I figured in this video, I'll give it a second chance. So this is it. I got the lightest shade in the shade 100W. Okay, so here I am pretty close up. I have my bangs. Of course I cut my bangs during quarantine and now they're a pain in the ass to put like back on my face. But I'm gonna start with primer. The last video I used the Stila One Step Correct primer, and I don't know if it affected the concealer, but I want to use today the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. I swear by this primer. It really does make everything stick. So I want to see how these products interact with this primer. So the first step in my everyday makeup routine would be to apply a concealer. So I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty concealer and I'm going to place this under my eyes. I'm not going to put a lot of product this time to see if maybe that helps with creasing. And I'm also going to put it on my chin and then on some pimples around my lips and then a little bit on the corners of my nose. That's about the normal amount of concealer I would use every day. So with concealer, normally I blend it in with my finger. I blended it out with a beauty blender in the last review, but today I want to try it with my finger and see if there's any difference. So something I'm noticing is that when I'm blending out the concealer with my finger, there are a little bit more dry spots because my skin's normally combination, it's not too dry, but this concealer does kind of cling on some spots. You can see right there, it's clinging to that, but powder can fix that. Now for my eyes, I always start blending it out with my finger, and then I put the excess on my eyelid like that, and I kind of just rub it. As you can see, the concealer does apply a pretty light coverage, but it's still like enough for me. I'm not going to go in with more. But since this concealer has a problem with creasing, I'm going to immediately go in with my Fit Me powder, the translucent one. And actually, I think this is the fairest one. I don't think they have translucent. But I'm just going to tap out to make sure there are no creases under my eye. I'm just going to set. I'm going to try to focus just where the creases would be. Like that. It's kind of, the blender is so big that it kind of gets everywhere, but I just wanted to focus on the creases. And then I also tap out on my lid, and then I also go in with the powder there. So in my last video, I didn't bake for a while because I don't usually, but with this concealer, since it does crease a lot, I'm gonna try to just leave that on for a little bit longer than normal. But another thing I'm gonna do is just, because the concealer also creased on my chin, I'm gonna tap that out. Like that little line right there. Take more bake and just place it down like that. So my last first impressions of these products, I actually waited to bake until the highlighter and blush were on, but I found the bake just kind of got everywhere and maybe that could have affected the highlighter. So today I'm going to bake before I put highlighter or blush on. Oh, and I'm also going to bake around my nose, just like that. Okay, so I look a little bit crazy, but I've let this like sit a little bit. I don't still like to let my bake sit for too long before I wiped it immediately off. It's set for a couple minutes now, and I'm gonna go in with another powder and wipe all this off. This is still normally what I would do with my everyday makeup routine. So normally I'd go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder in 100 translucent, and I would just go in with a brush like this. I would tap in a little bit, and then to get rid of the bake, I would just go back and forth like this. Then I'd also go on my upper lip. Normally my cheeks aren't this red, but I am so hot. I'm in front of this light right now and it's making me sweat. So the redness will die down normally, but that's why I don't put any concealer on my cheeks because normally they're normal colored. So I'm already liking the concealer a lot more. I feel like I know I look crazy right now because my forehead and nose are kind of tan, my cheeks are red, but I promise it comes all together at the end. But I am already liking the concealer more. I feel like it's all about what products work with certain concealers. I am actually gonna be doing a mini wear test in this video and seeing if the concealer actually creases after about 4 hours like I did yesterday. But you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I just wanted to give the concealer another try. So now if I was doing my everyday makeup routine, I would go in with my blush and highlighter. So I am going to be going in with the cream blush. Now yesterday, if you saw in my video, I recommended putting it on the back of your hand because it's extremely pigmented. It's insane, which is a good thing, but it's also really easy to go overboard. And then I went in with my Duo Fiber brush and I just kind of rubbed around. I don't want a lot of product though. And what I'm going to do with this is go in circular motions. Okay, yes, it looks crazy, don't worry, I know. And then I'm gonna go at the end of my beauty blender. As you can see, it's extremely pigmented even with a tiny amount, but I just noticed going with a brush and kind of just placing it where you want it and then right after going into the beauty blender, because it doesn't set down immediately, but it does set down pretty fast to kind of like a matte finish, the blush, so you just want to be careful. But I can already tell the blush just looks better on bare skin. I don't know, over foundation, it looks strange, but I had no makeup on my cheeks and it just blended so well and looked so good. So I already pretty much like the blush anyways. I mean, it didn't look terrible on foundation, but it didn't look this good. It looks a lot better on bare skin. But the true test will be the highlighter because that really struggled. If you watch that video, you can see in one of the clips how weird and like it broke up on my nose so much, it was really strange. And I've tried the highlighter on completely bare skin, but there is a little bit, you know, like concealer touching right here. Sorry, my phone. So with the highlighter this time, I think I'm gonna do something a little bit different. When I used the brush, it left like weird strokes on my cheek because I wasn't able to blend it out in time. So this time, first of all, this is what it looks like. Oh, that's the concealer, oh my God. Somebody's stupid. But okay, this is the highlighter. Tons of product, 0.5 ounces, amazing. But, oh, okay, yeah, this is what it looks like. Here, I'll put a swatch here. It really is a beautiful highlighter. But this time, what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna put it on the back. Actually, I already put some product there. So I'll put some more, like that. And I'm gonna take a beauty blender and I'm gonna try this. Okay, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna dab it on the tops of my cheeks. Okay, I'm having hope. I have hope. I'm getting excited. Watch out. Okay, that looks good. This is what I wanted. Okay, I did say that I tried the beauty blender with the highlighter in my last video on foundation and it did not look good, but I think more so on bare skin, it just looks better with a beauty blender. I think something about the beauty blender just messed up underneath, but I'm gonna put more. I'm gonna dip in a few times and then, oh my God, yeah. I figured it out. I'm so happy because this was the product I was most excited for and also most disappointed by. I mean, to be quite honest, I could still be disappointed by this because it's really the wear test and what it looks like in natural lighting that matters to me to see if it really beats my normal highlighter that I use, which is the Ofra Nikkie Tutorials one in Glazed Donut. Here is what it looks like. And once again, a scary part is that we're gonna go over and highlight my chin and upper lip, which is once again kind of where it went weird last time. So I'm gonna dab it with my beauty blender. I'm gonna tap it. Okay. I'm gonna grab more product. I think I don't want this product to dry down. That's why I keep grabbing more of it. So I want it to be liquidy and not like hard when I press it in. My nose doesn't have any product on it, so I know this is gonna look great. See, that's beautiful. This is what I wanted. Upper lip. Okay. And a little bit on my forehead. Once again, the true test will be the wear test for about 4 hours, and then also I'm going to show you what it looks like in natural lighting on this camera, and this camera does show like all of my flaws, so you'll really be able to see everything. Okay, so now that I'm done applying the 3 products from Rare Beauty, I'm going to go off camera and I'm just going to brush out my eyebrows, put on mascara, and then I'll come back to just show you the lip again if you are curious on the lip product I got. But that's it for my face. That's all I'm gonna apply, and then we're gonna jump into the natural lighting test, and I'm really gonna show you, and I'm also gonna look really close up and see how it looks. Okay, so I'm back, but I'm gonna show you the lip products really quickly, just in case you're curious. I got the Rare Beauty Souffle lip in the shade Courage. It's like a mauve-y, brownie pink. I don't know. I'm bad at describing colors, but here we go. So here it is. As you can see, it's like a purpley mauve. That's a better explanation. Okay, so there's the lip. It's really pretty, beautiful, but right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in natural lighting with my camera and really show you everything up close and take a closer look at it myself and see if this really did make a difference of applying the product on bare skin and if I still sort of don't like them or sort of do like them. Okay, so I'm in natural lighting right now. I'm right next to my big window that lets in a lot of light. I'm gonna zoom in a lot so that you can see the skin close up. So here's my skin in all its glory. You can really see the blush there. See how it's a lot more natural in person. The highlighter, I hope you can see. Here's the blush on this side. The highlighter looks significantly better on mostly bare skin and being applied with a beauty blender. It doesn't look weird on my chin, doesn't look weird on my upper lip. I will admit though, something about it on the nose, and my nose had no product on it. It could just be my texture. I'm gonna zoom in so maybe you guys can see a little better, but I just feel like it looks like super, I don't know how to describe it because I put highlighter on my nose all the time, but something about this highlighter on my nose makes it look like it just looks strange. I don't know, maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. Also, the blush does look better on bare skin, but I noticed where it comes in contact with the like concealer, it looks kind of like blunt. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I can tell where the blush and the concealer meet because it looks a little bit strange. Other than that, it looks beautiful on the skin. But once again, I'm not like wowed, super wowed by anything because honestly, I don't really think I'll reach for the highlighter again. Maybe if it's a really natural day and I'm not wearing like any concealer at all, maybe I'll put some on. I don't know, there's something about it where it just doesn't look as good as my powder one, and that could also just be a preference of using powder highlighters over cream ones. But if you like cream highlighters, I do think this is great. It's super pigmented, it's beautiful, especially for a pale highlighter. I mean, there's not many like liquid highlighters that are champagne, and this one is good. It sets down. It's just something about cream highlighters for me. They look more obvious on the skin than powder ones. The concealer, I want to give a second try in this video and really see if it creases. One thing I did notice, which could have been my fault, it has already creased on my nose. So that could have been because I didn't tap it out before I set it. So I'm not going to really focus on that because it's not on this nostril. It hasn't creased on this one, just that one, so it's probably user error. But I want to see in the next 3 hours if the concealer creases. If it doesn't crease, I want to keep using this and I'm excited. But if it does crease, I also probably will not reach for this concealer. So here I am in my normal wear test location. I always switch locations, but I am sort of in natural lighting. So I forgot to mention that last time it was, I think, like 3:20, and right now it is 5:36, so it's been about 2 hours. And something I noticed is that the blush and highlighter look so much better like inside. Like inside they look totally normal, totally great, totally blended. But once I kind of like go outside, you can really see where like the separation is between the blush and the highlighter. I'm gonna look closer though in my mirror. So here is a pretty close up. I'm trying to not make my hand shake. See that? It creased around my nose. That's kind of disappointing. But I am shocked at how smooth the concealer looks. It looks so smooth around here and under my eyes. It looks so smooth. The blush and the highlighter, the blush is definitely faded a little bit. The highlighter still looks very pretty, but once again, I don't know, inside it looks different. Even on my nose, I don't know why I feel like it looks a little bit strange. The concealer hasn't creased under my eyes, which is honestly probably the most important part because if I was to wear this concealer, I could just keep it away from my nose because it has creased already after 2 hours. I want to wear it for like maybe 2 more hours, see if it creases under my eyes since that's really important. It has creased a little bit on my chin. I don't know if you can see that. It's a tiny bit creased on my chin. The lip product's still totally intact and I've worn it for 2 hours, so that's impressive. I'm gonna probably assume now that the concealer isn't for me, which is totally fine. It sucks because it looks so good when you first apply it, but then like throughout the day it just doesn't really last on my skin for some reason. But I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna check back in about 2 hours. So this is going to be my last check-in. It's currently 7:30, so it's been 4 hours. I would do longer, but I already did a wear test in my other review video, which you can watch, and the concealer creased, but I wanted to give it a sort of quick other chance. As you can see, the creasing is apparent around my nose, definitely, but it's been like that for the last like 2 hours. I'm really shocked it didn't crease under my eyes this time, so I wonder if it's just the foundation that creased, or maybe it's just because I baked a longer time. It is a little bit creased around my like chin area, but honestly, out of all these products, I think now the one I'll use the most is the concealer, which is really odd to say because I really hated that. I literally gave it a 3 out of 10. But I think I want to keep using it as a highlighting concealer, not a everyday concealer, because it is lighter than my skin tone, and it does like really highlight, which is really, you know, rare to find for someone who's as white as me. And it didn't really break up that much around my pores. I mean, honestly, when I wear my like MAC Pro Longwear concealer, it looks the same around the pores at like the 8-hour mark, compared to this is only the 4-hour mark. It doesn't look bad or anything, but you can tell I've been like wearing it for a little bit and I'm starting to get those little dots around my pores. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with the concealer. I can understand why people are liking it. I really can. But I'm going to keep testing it out. The blush lasted all 4 hours. That didn't surprise me at all. Same with the highlighter. But yeah, it kind of seems like I'm not really going to touch the highlighter ever again. I don't know, maybe I will. I'm gonna keep playing around with the blush and the highlighter, and just because I don't want to give up just yet. But I don't know, my final thoughts is that the concealer, I understand why people like it, definitely has potential. I have to work with it a little bit and maybe bake longer in certain areas. The blush is really pretty, but I would just rather use a powder brush, blush, I don't know. And the highlighter is really pretty, but something about it in like natural daylight like looks strange and streaky, and maybe I'm still not using it right, who knows. But I'm curious to know like how it went for other people. Like, did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you have the same experience as me? Or did you love it? Because I feel like a lot of people love these products, and not that they're bad. They're not bad, they just look weird on my skin. But I hope I was helpful in some way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video if you're interested. And don't forget to watch my review if you want to see that. I think that would explain a lot of what I was talking about if you hadn't already seen that.